Hi, in this video we are going to be implementing a load balancing service on Google Cloud. So what is load balancing? If you just ask that on Google, you are going to find engineers telling you that load balancing refers to efficiently distributing incoming network traffic across a group of back-end servers, and that is exactly what we are going to be doing in this video. So if we look at this illustration here, we have our clients here. Our clients are going to send their request over the internet, and before hitting our backend servers, our load balancer is going to collect their request and distribute it to our backend servers. So we can have multiple backend servers. Our load balancer is going to be responsible for distributing traffic evenly across our backend servers. So we'll go to our Google Cloud Console. We go to the navigation menu, we go to compute engine, and then the first thing we are going to do is to create an instance template. So an instance template is a template that we are going to base ourselves on in order to create our instances or our instance group. So click on create template, and then we can enter the template name. I'll just call it gitcotech. That is gitcotech server. Allow everything default. We can change this type to micro. Allow everything default. And then, because we are going to be using this as a web server, in order to demonstrate how the load balancing service works, we are going to install a web server on it. We are going to be installing Nginx server on it, so that is going to display the instance ID, so we can use to compare each time traffic is forwarded to a different instance in our backend. So I'm going to select allow HTTP traffic, click on advanced, and then click on management. Here we are going to add a startup script that is going to be run anytime we deploy a new instance. So it's going to automatically run the script and install Nginx server, the landing page. So I have Gemini open here. So this is a command I sent, and this is the script I got. So I'm going to copy the script and I paste it here. So if you look at the script, you can clearly see that the script updates packages, and then it installs Nginx, it starts a service, and then it collects the host name of that instance and puts it in a variable called hostname, and then it goes and search for this word Nginx and replaces it with Google Cloud Platform, and then prints out the variable, that is the content of the variable, the host name, and the file that it is doing this inside this particular file. All right, so with that done, we are going to click on create. So once we have created our instance template, the next thing we're going to do is to create an instance group based on this instance template. So here we have instance groups. I'll click on instance groups, and then I'll click on create instance group. So here we can enter the name of the instance group. I can enter instance group gitcotech server, and then we can enter a description, and then here I will select the instance template. So here is the instance template we just created. Select US East 1, it automatically picks a zone there. So here I'm going to enter the minimum number of instances that have to be running at the same time. Remember, it is a group of instances that we are provisioning, so the minimum number of instances is going to be 2, and the maximum we can just put it to 3. Then I'll scroll down to health checks. I'm going to implement a health check. So I already have a health check. I'm going to create one. I'm going to call this HTTP check. You can give a description, allow everything else default. So here, what does the health check does? It's going to check every 5 seconds. It's going to check if our instance is healthy, maybe through a ping or trying to access a particular port. So once it gets a positive response, so 5 seconds, the timeout is 5. If it's 5 seconds it does not have any positive response and it tries that twice and it doesn't work, then it's going to consider that instance to be unhealthy. So if it tries it twice and gets a consecutive success, it means that instance is healthy. Click on save, and then here we are going to select what we just created. Is there already? So it says that because the health check will replace unhealthy instances, you may want to increase the check interval to at least 10 seconds and the unhealthy threshold to at least 3 times, so that your instances aren't replaced too often. So you understand, this makes more sense. So let us try and see if we can do that. So I'll click on edit. So it says that we should change it to at least 10 seconds and the threshold to at least 3. So let's change those to 3. It means that after we have done our health checks and we see that an instance is unhealthy, we place it, so it's automatically going to just spin up a new instance. But for that to happen, we are supposed to have 3 consecutive failures. So I think that makes a lot of sense. So I'm going to save it here. Next thing is initial delay. I'm going to bring it down to 30 seconds. And I think that's all. Click on create. So we have successfully created our instance group. So let us click on it to see what we have there. So as you can see here, we have 2 instances running, but it says here unhealthy. So it is probably still doing the health check. So you can see here 0%. So we're going to wait for a while so that it completes health check and tell us if our instances are healthy or not. So while it is doing that, because we increased the time to 10 seconds, so while it is doing that, we are going to scroll down to, well, let's just wait till it finishes. So as you can see here, it says here 100% healthy. So all our instances are healthy. So let's check the contents to see if everything is okay. As you can see here, we have the welcome page and have the instance ID. So next, we are now going to create our load balancing service. So I'm just going to search for load balancing. I'm going to create a load balancer. So we are creating an application load balancer, that is an HTTP load balancer. So I'm going to allow everything default and click on configure. Next, we are here on the front end, so we can enter a name or we can allow everything default. For back end, we are going to click on back end here. We click here and then we are going to click on create a backend service. Next, we are going to enter the name of the service. We'll enter git codec backend. Next, we allow everything default, and here we are going to select our instance groups that we created. So here is our instance group, select it, and then This is my voice from the future. So as you're watching, you're going to notice somewhere ahead of the video I had issues with the load balancer. So I had to come back off camera and recreate the load balancer. So if you look keenly, after I entered the port 80 and I scroll down, the field automatically changed to some other random number. So I do not know why this happened, but I just want to draw your attention to that. So while you enter the port number, you should be keen enough to verify that it does not change as you scroll down. So that is the real precision I wanted to make. But do not worry, as you move ahead with the video, everything is going to work just fine. You just have to make sure the port number you entered it does not change. So we are going to be accessing our server on port 80. So click enter port 80 there. And the next thing we are going to do is we are going to select a health check. So we created one. We are going to select the health check we created, and then we are going to click on create. So this is our backend service we created. We click on OK, and that's all. We are going to click on create now. Oops, we are going to enter the name of our load balancer. You can call it Discotech load balancer. So click on create. So this may take a while. So once it's done, we are going to now check if our load balancing service is working properly. So as you can see, our load balancer has been provisioned. So we're going to click on it. So we have our IP address here that we can use to access our backend services, and we have the instance group that is attached to. So we may have to wait up to 5 minutes or 7 minutes for everything to be connected together. Alright, so I have waited like forever, and I even had to go through the process again just to be sure I did not make a mistake. So here are we. I've waited for a while again, and so we are going to collect our IP address here, and then we open a new tab. We are going to paste and go to. So as you can see here, through our load balancer's IP, we are able to access our backends. So this is the instance ID here. So the idea is that when we refresh, it should be able to collect our request and then send it to our ZFM backends. So we should be having two different instances running. So if we refresh this space multiple times, we should see it distributing traffic to the different instances. So let's be refreshing. Click on refresh. So as you can see here, the instance ID is changing. So we can clearly see that our load balancing service has been successfully implemented. So as it is every time we do a lap, we are going to do a cleanup. So we are going to delete every service that we created. So we're going to start with the load balancing service. I'm going to tick that and hit delete. Select the backend and delete. So we are going to go to compute engine, and compute engine, then instance groups. So if you try to delete the instance group when the load balancer is not yet deleted, it is not going to work. So we are going to wait for a while. So once our load balancer is deleted, then we can delete our instance group. So load balancer has successfully been deleted. So we refresh this. As you can see now, we can now delete our instance group. Click on delete, and then we are going to type delete. So while our instance group is deleting, we are going to navigate to our instance. So So since the instance group depends on the instance template, we cannot delete the instance template when the instance group is not yet deleted. So we're going to wait for a while. Once our instance group is deleted, then we'll be able to delete our instance template. Launch template, our instance template, and click on delete. Then we're going to type delete here. So our instance template is deleted, I think. So why we are sure that that is gone, so it's gone, we can also check health checks here. We can go to health checks and delete the health checks that we created, and that is it. We have been able to implement load balancing service on Google Cloud using Google Cloud's load balancing service attached to backends that are created using instance group that are created based on a launch template. So if you enjoyed the video, do not forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.